So today we're going to talk about APPFILES. Like I said, some of you have been using the system and some of you are brand new. APPFILES essentially is a process management web application. What this means is that it's going to organize all of your information and coordinate the work that you do, not only with Balestri and other agents, but for yourself to keep everything in one place. You have to think of APPFILES as a filing cabinet, and then each property that you're helping somebody buy or sell becomes the file that goes into that filing cabinet. Is everybody good with that? Do you understand that concept?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, great, great. Okay, so what are the benefits then of APPFILES? Our benefits are that we are managing those files. We can track all of the work that we do within that file. We can control email. So when I say that, that means that APPFILES has email built right into its system, and we can then use that email program to send messages right from APPFILES. So we don't have to download something to our desktop and then figure out where it's saved on our computer to then email it to somebody else. It can all be done right within the APPFILES platform. We can communicate. So there's many different ways that we can do this. It's through that email, through updates right through the system, through sending messages to people within our organization. And then finally, it's just keeping everything together, keeping all of our documents and our forms, keeping our photos, keeping contact information, uploading information pertaining to HOAs or condo associations. It's a really great system that just is very intuitive, and the more you get to use it and the more you get to learn all the features of it, you'll find that you are really loving the system. So does anybody have any questions about that?
No.
Okay. Just remember, if you do have any questions, go ahead and use that chat bar, and it is down at the bottom of your screen. I'm monitoring that chat box, so if I see something come up, I will message, and you are able to either ask me just directly, or you can ask the whole group through that chat so that everyone can see that question. And there are no stupid questions. There's nothing silly. We're all here to learn and grow, and that's why we're doing this. And on a side note, the video that we're recording today will be uploaded to YouTube for future reference, and we'll be continually adding to this platform so that everyone will have this as a reference going forward. So let's dive into ways that you can actually log into APPFILES. And again, I know that some of you have been using this, so this is probably a little basic, but it's always a good refresher to go over this information. There's two ways that you can do it. Since you all, for the most part, have already been using it, the first would have been clicking the link in your welcome email when you first established the account. So if you don't have an account for APPFILES, or you change email and need to make a new account, your OA in your office would do that for you, and you would receive an email from APPFILES that has a link that allows you to click and then log in that way. Once you do that, I recommend that you click save your password and email, and then that way you don't ever have to remember what that password is. And then the second way, right from your browser, whether that be Internet Explorer. So your browser is this bar right up top here.
Is she supposed to be showing it?
Do you not see my screen?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, we see your thing. You got to change. We'll go show another.
Okay. So, okay, I just opened a new tab in Google. Do y'all see that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So to log in from your internet browser, and like I said, that could be Google, it could be Internet Explorer, it could be Firefox, whatever your browser is. I believe that at the time, AppFiles prefers Google because it works best with their system. So just to not cause you some headaches, I would recommend that you use Google to log in. So you'd start with a new window in your browser and you type www.appfiles.com and hit enter. Okay, and then you get the AppFiles login screen. Can everyone see that?
Yes.
Okay. So from here, then you go to the right underneath the big 1-800 number. It says AppFiles login. And you click on that. And because I'm already signed in, let me actually sign out. This is the screen that you would come to log in. So you go ahead and put in your email address. Oops. Sorry about that, guys.
She's putting hers down, so I just. This is what I have so much trouble.
Okay, so I put in my email address and then my password.
I know how to do that.
And here's the button that I told you. Go ahead and keep this checked. Keep me logged in until I sign out, and then that way you will always stay logged in. Now you do notice it says if you sign in from another computer, it could also mean your phone, your tablet, the office computer. If you sign in from any other device, it's going to log you out of that primary device that you were using or that primary computer, okay? So you keep this checked and then say log in. And here we are at our home screen. How's everyone doing?
Good. Good.
Okay.
Very good.
Like I said, this is a little bit basic right now. We're just kind of laying the groundwork. So we're going to go slow and we're going to take it step by step. All right. Sorry, I just clicked off something that I wasn't supposed to. Let me get back here. Okay. All right. So we did our logins. Now we see our home screen. And I will tell you, when I first logged into this system, I was like, wow, that is a lot of stuff. What is all of this? And you might feel overwhelmed too, but there's really no reason to feel overwhelmed. It's broken down into 3 sections, 3 main sections that you'll use on a daily basis, okay? Obviously, if you have not set up your own personal settings, you might have just a little like avatar right here where your picture is. Can everyone see that? Up in the top left?
Yes.
Okay, so that will be something that we will get into in a future video, but right now, I just wanted to point it out. That's where you would change settings, your photo, and some other information built into AppFiles. Then the next thing you see on your left-hand side is this link in green that says Create New App File. This is what you will use in most circumstances when you are starting a new transaction file, whether it be for a listing or a sale contract, okay? And then there's a few other options down here. And as you see, I'm rolling over each of these items. They are all blue and they have my pointer changed to a hand. That means it's basically a link. So it's going to, when you click on it, open something new. So here we have print blank forms. What that means is that every form that we used to have as a paper version in a file drawer in the office is now built into the AppFiles system, and you can actually go in here and print them. You can actually print them, or you can fill them in. So let me just go to a very and you can see here that I'm using the drop down to scroll through. So our most common thing that we always want is probably the listing agreement. We would love to take listings. Here we go. And none of these are the right Valley approved ones, sorry. Must have passed it. Okay, we're just gonna pick this as an example. Okay, this is not the Valley approved, but we're gonna pick it. Okay, this was for a rental, so this is fine. So you can see here, we're still in the print blank forms hyperlink, and we can actually just print this as a blank form. We can click on these blue boxes and fill them in if we'd like. We can download it to our computer to send it as a PDF if we need to. And then ultimately we can save it to an app file if we haven't actually started by creating the app file first, okay? I will tell you, if you type on here, it's going to save that value. And when I say value, it means that information that you input to that spot. If you close out of this and you haven't clicked this button, clear values, the next time you go to print it or download it, it's going to still have those values in it. You'll have to clear it first, okay? Is everybody good with that?
Yes.
All right. All right, so we closed out of that. That was a print blank forms. Then we have upload files. This is where you're going to bring something into AppFiles from your computer or by scanning it on the copier in your office, okay? Does everyone know how to do that process?
No.
All right. So when we click upload files, it brings us to this box. And from here, I'm using another computer, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna find if I click to find something.
Bless you.
Thank you.
It's not giving me a way to browse from yours, Mark.
Documents, upload form, right?
No, that's not. You would browse to find what. Yeah.
Let's get out of this.
Okay, so we're gonna have to go back to this, guys.
That was important too.
Go to creating new file and show them that.
Okay, let's just go into creating a new app file. All right, so we're gonna click on create new app file. And as you can see the screen, it actually looks like a file folder, like the same color. It's got the little tab. It has a little label here for the name of the app file. For balustrade, our file names are always the complete property address. Let me say that again, the complete property address. And I know some of you might say, but I'm working with a buyer and we don't have a complete property address yet. If that's the case, then you will use their name. And then when you actually establish a property, you will go back and change the file name to that address. I will show you how to do that as well. So in this case, let's call our file ONE North Main Street. And we'll do Boca Raton, Florida. Whoops. 33431. Okay, we have our property address in there as our file name. Then our file type, we click this, and as an agent, you guys will have very limited selections here. You're going to have, let's keep scrolling down. You're gonna have these in the agent workspace. You're going to have a buyer file, a seller file, a tenant file, or a landlord file, as well as a test or trash. So since we're starting with a listing, we would select seller. And you can see the screen changed now. And it's asking us what type of listing paperwork do we need. This means when we click this that we can choose single family, condo, HOA, co-op, short sale, or all paperwork. These file types are important because this is going to tell you what documents or what forms you actually need to then submit for your file to be reviewed and processed by the OA. So to make it simple, we'll start today with a single family. And then you'll add your name here.
Okay. You know, why doesn't that auto-populate when I go to type in my name? Why doesn't it remember me?
That is not something that AppFiles built into the system.
Why can't they build that in? That just doesn't make sense.
Believe me, we've been asking and asking and asking. They are still making a lot of improvements, and I request probably on a bi-weekly basis about that. It's not so important that you fill that in right away, but we do like it because when we open a file, it's a quick reference for us to see whose file it actually is.
And it also counts as the values, and if you're going to fill out any forms, it's, you know,
yes,
not there, then it doesn't get.
Yes, that's true. All right, so then our seller name. Today, Britney Spears is going to be buying a property from me.
Good deal.
Yeah. And then let's see. Oh, actually, she's selling her property. We're doing a seller. Sorry. We'll make her listing expire actually a year from now. So you see when I clicked on that, a little calendar popped up. If you use just the single arrow, it goes month by month. If you use the double, then it'll take it by year. So that's a good way so you don't have to click month by month if you know that it's going to be a longer listing. So let's see. And if you need to go back to today, you have that option here as well in the middle. Today we're August 6th. Let's say that she's going to give me a year listing agreement. And her property, we'll say, is 150 million. Tell me if I put enough zeros. I don't know. And generally, we don't know the MLS number yet because we're just starting with her as a seller. So that can be blank. And you can see there's a couple of places here where it does say required. If you don't fill anything in there, it's not going to allow you to go to the next screen. So it is required. You do have to fill something in, okay? And then finally, we have this box here that says other notes. Yeah.
A lot of background noise. People need to mute it. You hear the noise?
Yeah.
Right. So let's go to participant. Mute me. I'm not sure who's bringing the noise, but we're going to mute them.
We're going to mute everybody so that there's not so much background noise. Maybe.
Yes. Mute on button.
Is it over here?
Yeah, this is. Very good Google. All right, we can't figure it out right now. So just
If people, if you don't mind, mute yourself. There's a lot of background noise. We hear phones ringing, we hear conversations going on, and we have about another 5 minutes left. Nina's going to complete showing you how to start a file.
Okay. So we filled in all of this information and we click next. And we click next. There we go. All right, so then it brings up this screen and this is allowing people to access your file. So on the left you see users without access, and then on the right you see users who will have access. Obviously everyone that's on the right hand side are employees of Balistrary, and they will always be required on every file. The reason why you might want to use the people that are on the left side is because maybe you work as a team. Maybe you're going on vacation and you need an agent to fill in for you, or you are working with an agent from a different office. If you are working with an agent from a different office, Wendy Cabay in the Pompano Beach office is the only person that is able to add that other agent to your file. So you would have to contact her to add that person. Otherwise, like I said, if it's somebody that's in your office, you can add those people. So in this case, I'm gonna add, let's say Anna and Jane. They're a team. So I click on their names and they get moved to the right. So now they also have access to this file, and I will click Create App File.
Where did you click? I didn't see where you clicked.
To add the people.
When you just finished with the people, where did you click?
On their name.
On their names, okay.
Yes, and it brought them from the left to the right.
Right, but now you're on another screen. Where did you?
Yes, as soon as you click that button to say create, now it brings you into the actual app file that you just created.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
11:30.
So now this is the actual file that we created, and you can see it's got the property address, and it says who the agent is, who the seller is, the listing expiration, and the listing price. Okay, and this is just about our time is up, and I'm sure you guys probably have a lot of questions. Is there anyone in particular that has a quick question that we can go over? Because I want to value your time and appreciate that you showed up and not go over.
Lorraine is always telling me when I put the exclusive right of sale listing agreement in, then she says to bring it up. I don't understand what that is.
Okay, who's speaking?
Elaine.
Elaine. Elaine, what that means is that you actually have to click a button called submit. We're not quite there yet in this video,
Right.
but I would certainly be happy to help you off the video, and then we will cover that topic in coming sessions as
Okay.
well.
Okay.
Okay. If anyone, please feel free to reach out to me if you have questions that we can't cover in today's session. I'm more than happy to help any and all of you. I just, like I said, we try to keep it at a 30-minute time frame to respect everyone's time. So if we're good for today, then we'll wrap up. And then, like I said, you can reach out to me and we can go forward with any other questions. Amy is writing, should we include the buyer's agent when we are creating initial contract? Yes.
You can just answer that.
Yeah. You'll always want to include as much information that you have as possible when you are creating files. Like I said, this was a very basic beginning type of class because we do have all levels of people that are participating today. So as we go through this and get more detailed, you'll see more and more grow. Again, I just want to make sure that nobody has any general questions that I can quickly answer. And
So we're gonna wrap it up.
we're
The recording's gonna go out. So the recording of sent out to everybody today. We look forward to seeing you next week at 11 a.m. Prepare your questions beforehand and feel free to reach out to Nina. And this is Mark, and we're going to sign off now. So go and have a productive day as we're now 2 minutes over time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.